Hello everybody. Today we are going to learn how to make labels for juice pouches. So these labels you can use either on um, your Capri Suns or your Kool Aid Jammers. They all are the same size. So this will be a quick tutorial on how to make this label here. So I'm not going to show how to print. We'll go through the process of print then cut, but I will not show it actually printing and then cutting. I will show you the final product. So first thing that we want to do is we're going to get some images that I've already uploaded from Google. I do not pay for images, or I try not to pay for images. So a lot of times what I'll do is I will go to Design Space first to see what it is that I'm looking for. If Design Space does not have it, then I'll go to Google. Hopefully Google has some quality images that I can use. And then if not, then I do go to Etsy. Etsy is kind of like my last resort to go and find quality images of things that I'm looking for. So these images that I have here for Lion King, I believe I uploaded these images from Google. Simba himself, I may have gotten from Etsy. I have a lot of images because I do a lot of work. So I may have purchased Simba. However, his crown that I use definitely is in Design Space. The font that I used is the font that I used is Lion King, and that font I downloaded from thefont.com. I do not pay for fonts, so that's one thing that I don't do. I do not pay for fonts. There are a lot of fonts on thefont.com that you can use. If thefont.com does not have the font that I'm looking for, there is another website. I cannot think of the name of it now, but I'll leave it in the description. I want to say it's called Font Meme that I'll go to, and a lot of times they'll have fonts for like Disney fonts. They'll have fonts for different types of TV shows, and you can kind of create what it is that you're looking for, save it as a PNG, and then upload it. So I'll either do defont.com, whatever is in Design Space, or I will do Font Meme. I believe that's the name of it, but if not, I will definitely put it in the description. So let's get started. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're just going to upload a shape, a typical square. And this is kind of just our template. Eventually we will delete this. So I'll upload this template and I need to resize this template. The size of your juice label is going to be 3.5 inches wide by 5 inches in height. So I'm going to unlock this here. I'm going to change my width with the numbers, and I'm going to change the width to 3.5, and then I'm going to change my height to 5 inches. And this is just my template that I'm using. Eventually, again, like I said, I'm going to delete that, but just so that when I am sizing on my background images, they are here in this size. And this kind of will give me an idea of what my image is going to look like once we print it out. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to upload. And so I'm going to go to view all, and these are all the images that I've ever uploaded into Design Space. And the first one that I'm going to do, because I think it may be easier if I just do image by image, I'm going to actually do two. I'm going to use these, grab these two backgrounds that I'm going to use. I selected them. We know that it's selected because it will have the green bar around there. And then I'm going to hit insert image. Now that these images are uploaded, we want to resize them. So I'm going to move this darker one over a little bit. We don't need that as of yet. So this lighter one, a couple things. Well, one thing, we need to get rid of this vector stock here. Now, because Design Space does not give us the option to technically crop, slicing is your cropping tool. And how I'm going to get this vector stock logo off of the bottom of this image, I am going to grab another shape. I'm going to grab a square, and I'm just going to use the arrows to resize it and just pull it out, and just make sure that this square covers the bottom of that vector stock sign. I am going to select both of them, and then I'm going to slice it. And now if I move this, that vector stock has been taken off of there. So I don't need this, I don't need that, I don't need this. I'm going to delete. Now this is going to be, this lighter green one is going to be my actual background image. So I'm going to resize this to 3.5 in width, to 5 inches in height. And I'm just going to put it here, up against here, just make sure everything aligns. And it does. So now I don't really need this template here. And really, we didn't need that template. I could have just grabbed this, resized that. But sometimes, depending on what it is that you're doing, you may need like a background template to try to figure it out. Okay. So I don't need that. I'm going to delete that. So here we are. Now the next thing I'm going to do is resize this green here. And this is going to be the background as well. So we're in the foreground or front. So I'm going to resize this. I'm going to resize this using the arrows. Actually, I'm going to unlock it. And I want this to fit in the center of this lighter green. Now, as you can see, that this darker green is in the background of the lighter green leaf image. And we need to bring it to the front. And how we do that is I'm going to right click and I'm going to select center front. And that moves this to the front of the image. So now that I have it unlocked, I'm going to kind of resize it and just eyeball it to see kind of how I want it to be. And that's kind of good. So now I need to make sure that these two images are centered. So I'm going to select both of these by pulling my mouse out from the right hand corner over both of the images. And now they are both selected. And we know that because if we look into our layers panel, we have 1, 2 items that are selected. I'm going to align these by going to the align option at the top of the screen. I am going to do align center horizontally. And then I'm going to align center vertically. And now these two items are aligned. I am now going to group them together. Next thing I'm going to do is now grab this, excuse me, my son that's in the background. He has company and they just came in from outside and they're very loud. So I'm going to now add the leopard trimming to the top and bottom. So I'm going to go to upload. I am going to grab here this leopard that I already uploaded from Google. And again, I need to take off this vector stock. But really, I don't need to do that. What I need is just a small piece of this leopard. Now, I could take off the vector stock at the bottom and I could then resize this. But a lot of times when you're resizing it, you lose the quality of the image. So for instance, if I take this all the way in, or if I unlock this and kind of move that around, see how that I lose the quality of the image. So I don't want to lose the quality of the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another shape, which is going to be a square. I typically use squares. I am going to unlock this square and just resize this with the arrow to the width of this square, just about. Yes, this square just about. And I don't need it to be really wide. Again, this is just really eyeballing. And so I'm going to slice out this shape of this rectangle from the shape of this leopard print. So I'm going to select them all and I'm going to slice. And see, here we are. All right. So now I'm going to take, I need the width of this to be 3.5. So I'm just going to unlock it and I'm going to change the width 3.5 and I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to move that to the top of here. And this is kind of thick. I want this to be really thin. So I'm just going to move this in a little bit and size it here to the top. Now, since I am adding this leopard print to the top of the green background, I'm no longer going to have, at this point, I'm no longer going to have a 5-inch height of this image. So at the end, what we'll do is we'll resize it. So I'm going to just make this a little bit wider, size that to there. I'm going to select this and just align it. I'm going to do center horizontally. And then what I'm going to do is select this again and I'm going to duplicate it. No use in reinventing the wheel, just duplicate that, bring that to the bottom of this here, and select everything again. We're going to align center horizontally. Everything now is lined up. And I am going to group these images so that nothing will move. So our next step is going to be to add our text. So I'm going to go to text and I'm going to type in King Jamie turns 4. And so I want to change the font of this. I'm going to reselect that, double tap so I can get that back. I want to change the font, so I'm going to go to font and I am going to type in Lion King or Lion, and then Lion King will come up. And here we are. So one of the things that I did not do with the image on the right hand side is resize it or space the letters closer together so that the lines on top of the ing Jamie, those lines can be closer together, and they are supposed to be closer together because the logo of Lion King is just one straight line. It's not cut out as this. So first I'm going to align this so that it's center. So I'm going to go to alignment, drop down menu, center. I am now going to go to letter space and I'm going to space the letters together, move them closer. I'm going to choose the down arrow and that will move them together. And you can kind of eyeball it and just see what kind of progress that you're making to move everything together. Now I'm going to unlock this and use the arrow so that I can size this in a way that it is in line with our background. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to step away to close the door really quick. So now what I'm going to do is, we have that, just I'm going to align this. I'm going to do center and horizontally. So I'm going to align center horizontally, align center vertically, and now we have everything aligned and I'm going to group those again. And so now our last step, or next to last step, is to grab, or to create this is going to be grabbing our images. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images that I'm going to grab. I'm going to go to uploads, I'm going to go to view all. I'm going to choose these guys here. Let's see. All right, and I don't think I grabbed a bird already. I did, so I can deselect him. I'm going to insert the images. And then they are going to pop up on the screen really large. And a lot of times what I do is I just select them really quick and change the size just so, for the purpose of just moving them out the way until I'm ready to use them. So I just select them, just choose a size, no size in particular. I normally just do 2 inches tall just to make them kind of small because I'm not using them all at one time, or just so that they can get out the way. This crown is huge. I'm going to change the crown 2 inches. And here we are. So now the first thing I'm going to do is grab Simba. I'm going to put him here over top of King. And a lot of this now at this point is just eyeballing to see what you think looks good, using the arrow, the handle arrow on your image and moving it in and out and sizing it. So I think he looks good there. I'm going to grab his crown. I'm going to resize that because it's way too big. I'm going to put it on his head. And I did tilt the crown a little. So I'm going to tilt. That's kind of big, so I'm going to make it a little smaller. Okay, cool. He looks good. And then you just grab your other images and place them wherever you want. Now, the lemur ends up facing to the right when you grab him. And what I did was I flipped him so that he could face the left, so that he could face his front. So I'm going to go to flip, and I'm going to flip horizontal. And now that turned the lemur around. So I'm just going to grab him. I placed him down here in the right hand corner. And then I place the bird up here, this top left hand corner, and just resize them. I'm going to grab him. Oh, I missed him. I missed one of them, so I'm going to go and grab him. Go to upload images. Oop, nope, sorry, not that. I'm going to go to back, view all, insert image. Just resize this guy and place him down here. And we have our juice label. So a few more things we need to do. I am going to select all of this here because we want this to be a print and cut image. And right now it's not a print and cut image. Only the backgrounds. Every character, every image is a print and cut, but we want it to be one print and cut image so that all of these things print together at one time. And how we know that they're not actually stuck together or actually going to be one image, it's because in our layers panel we have all these individual things over here. So we need to make this one. So what I've done is I selected this entire image, everything on here, and I hit flatten. Flatten will make that, compress that into one single image so that when we print it, it will be printed as one. And now we just need to resize this because again, remember I added the leopard to the top and bottom. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to unlock. I'm going to go to width, and my width again is going to be 3.5, and then my height is going to be 5. And there we go. And then your final step would be to print this, print it on sticker paper, peel the back off once you cut it, and then stick it onto your juice. It's very simple. It's not hard at all. In the description box, I will use the type of paper that the type of sticker paper that I use, and I will also add that other font website that I use besides the font.com. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Comment below any questions or anything that you have, and until next time, thank you.